I did not come to give a speech. I came to release a cry that has been locked inside the chests of millions, a cry that echoes from the streets of Kampala to the villages where mothers still weep in silence, a cry that refuses to be buried under the weight of official statements and diplomatic language. This is not about politics. This is about something far deeper. This is about the moment when a leader looks into the eyes of his people and sees nothing but strangers. This is about the day when power becomes a wall so thick that no scream can penetrate it. This is about what happens when a nation's pain becomes invisible to the one who was supposed to carry it. What happened in Uganda is not just Uganda's story. It is Africa's story. It is the story written in the blood of Burkina Faso, in the tears of Congo, in the silence of Zimbabwe, in the broken promises of 100 nations, where leaders forgot that they were once sons of the soil, when young people flood the streets demanding nothing but the right to breathe, to speak, to dream without fear, and they are met with bullets instead of dialogue. It is not just their bones that break. It is the spine of an entire continent. When a government deploys its military against its own children, it is not just tear gas that fills the air. It is the ghost of every colonial master who taught us that African lives are negotiable. Every baton that falls on a student's back carries the echo of chains our ancestors died to break. Every silenced voice is a betrayal of every freedom fighter who believed that independence meant dignity. This is not Uganda's pain alone. This is the pain of every African who has ever dared to believe that their leader would be different. And yet, in the middle of this darkness, there stands a man. Not a perfect man, not a saint, but a man who understands that leadership is not a throne to protect, but a burden to carry with trembling hands. Ibrahim Traore is young. Some say too young. But age is not measured in years when your soul has walked through fire. He came to power not through lineage or military cunning alone, but through a promise whispered in the hearts of a generation that refused to die in silence. He represents something dangerous to old systems. He represents the possibility that a leader can still feel, that a president can still bleed when his people bleed, that power does not have to turn a human being into a monument of stone. When Traore speaks, you do not hear the rehearsed cadence of a politician reading from someone else's script. You hear the raw voice of a man who knows what it means to watch your country suffocate under corruption, to see your sisters lack medicine, to bury friends who died from preventable diseases, because the national budget was eaten by men in suits who never missed a meal. Traore is the embodiment of Africa's refusal to accept that leadership must always become a betrayal. He is living proof that the son can choose a different path than the father. And this is why his words to Museveni cut so deep, because they came from a place of profound recognition. Traore looked at Uganda and saw Burkina Faso. He looked at the young people bleeding in the streets and saw his own people. He looked at a leader who had become deaf to his nation's cries and saw the ghost of every liberation hero who lived long enough to become the oppressor. Your people deserved better. 5 words, simple, devastating, true, not an insult, not a diplomatic provocation, but a lament, a recognition of a